The rain had been falling for hours, a soft, steady rhythm against the cabin roof. Each drop carried a kind of quiet wisdom, like the forest itself was sighing in contentment. Inside, the air was warm and still, smelling faintly of cedarwood and cinnamon. A small fire crackled in the hearth, and the golden light danced lazily across the wooden walls. In the kitchen, Danni moved with an easy, familiar rhythm. The shelves above her tea cabinet aligned with jars of dried herbs and flowers, each labeled in her careful handwriting: peppermint, lemon balm, rose hips, chamomile, and lavender, just to name a few. Her fingers trailed along the jars, lingering for a moment before choosing a blend she knew well: chamomile and lavender, a pair of gentle companions that never failed to quiet her mind. She filled the kettle with fresh water, listening to the soft rush as it poured. When the kettle met the stove, the faintest hum of heat filled the room, a promise of warmth and rest. This part of the night was her favorite, when the world slowed down enough to breathe. While the water warmed, Danni wandered to the window. The rain tapped against the glass in 1,000 tiny rhythms, each droplet racing the next down the pane. She followed them with her eyes, feeling her thoughts melt away with every line of silver water. A quiet breath left her lips. She closed her eyes and whispered her nightly affirmations to herself, softly enough that only the rain could hear. I am safe. I did the best I could with what I knew today. I will do better tomorrow from what I've learned today. Mistakes create growth, and I am constantly evolving. My mind is at ease, and my heart is at rest. I love myself exactly as I am. The words floated into the stillness, joining the hush of rain and wind outside. She felt her body relaxing, her heart slow, and her breath move more gently into her diaphragm. Behind her, the kettle began to sing, a soft whistle curling through the air. She turned back and reached for her favorite mug. A stoneware cup glazed in shades of earth and sky. On the front it read, "Life is good today." She spooned the chamomile and lavender into the steaming water, watching the petals swirl and dance like a snow globe shaken for the first time in years. The herbal scent filled the kitchen, sweet, floral, and grounding all at once. As she waited for the tea to steep, a familiar warmth brushed against her ankle. Looking down, she saw Meadow, her elderly cat, with fur the color of black velvet and emerald eyes that still held a spark of mischief. Meadow purred loudly, weaving between Danni's legs before settling at her feet. Her presence always made the cabin feel complete. Danni knelt down, running her fingers through Meadow's soft fur while an old memory stirred. The day she found Meadow. It had been years ago, on a quiet afternoon after a storm. Danni had been walking through the woods when she heard a faint mewing sound, barely audible above the rustle of wet leaves. Following the tiny cry, she discovered a kitten, shivering beneath a fallen log, eyes wide and frightened, yet full of hope. Danni had lifted her into her coat, whispering, "You are safe now." From that moment on, Danni and Meadow had belonged to each other. As the kettle's song faded, Danni poured her tea, watching the herbal liquid swirl with light, holding the warm mug between her palms. She made her way to the living room. The fire greeted her with a quiet roar, its glow painting the room in warm tones of amber and gold. Tiny pumpkins and pine cones lined the mantel, each one a small celebration of autumn. She curled up on the couch, wrapping herself in her soft, fuzzy blanket. The warmth sank into her muscles and tired bones, and the tension of the day finally released its hold. Outside, the rain continued, steady yet soothing. The sound seemed to weave a gentle spell over the world. She sipped her tea slowly, letting the chamomile and lavender wrap around her senses like a lullaby. The fire popped softly, casting playful shadows that danced across the walls. Meadow leapt lightly onto the arm of the couch, curled into a ball beside her companion and began to purr once more. Everything was calm. Everything was patient. There was no rush, no wait to the hours, only warmth and the sound of the warm fire and rain on a window. Danni gazed through the glass, watching the droplets race and merge again, the distant trees swaying in the rhythm of the storm. In that moment, she felt a quiet gratitude rise within her. I am grateful for the roof above me. I am grateful for the warmth the fire brings. I am grateful for the tiny heartbeat curled upon my lap. She took a deep breath in and she released it slowly. The world needed nothing from her now but stillness, and she gave it gladly. Danni's eyes grew heavy. The rain whispered on, a gentle companion to the drifting quiet. Somewhere beyond the glass, the night sighed in peace. Inside the cabin, wrapped in warmth and light, Danni surrendered.